How do you approach creating a photo essay, Claire?
I try to think about the story beforehand and what the message would be of the story, and then I just try to think of as many pictures as I can to illustrate that. Sometimes I don't think about it too much beforehand, and then I have to be really creative on the spot, and then I have a massive panic at the end when I don't have enough. But there's always a way to add in extra pieces to the story with pictures from maybe another day's work. I did one recently and I didn't have quite enough pictures because it was quite a narrow story. The story was about mobile courts. For me, it was a fascinating story, but I didn't have enough pictures of the actual court because there's only so many pictures you can take inside an ISO box with the people who are registering and everything. So then I would just think about what else can I talk about in that story that might be interesting. So maybe like an overview of the camp, like daily life in the camp. The story was about babies being registered, so I had some pictures of women with babies, and then like just some whatever else that's like visually compelling can be drawn into the story in some way.
So what's the criteria do you use as being visually compelling?
Just make anything that would catch people's attention because it looks good, and then invites people to ask questions. I guess there has to be something that makes people want to read the caption.
Yes.
And that's not always that easy. But sometimes the caption is better than the picture. So
yes, and sometimes you get pictures which are multi-layered as well. There's lots of things going on within one picture, which will illustrate a story.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't done a lot of this format yet, but I really enjoy working in that way. And like the piece I did for Geographical about the burning oil wells, that was actually more difficult than I thought because the pictures were all quite similar. They were all pictures basically of firemen and fire and smoke and hoses, and then it was hard to try and broaden that out. But as it turned out, I had quite a lot more pictures from the town with the blanket of smoke and things like that. So I think I just shoot as much as I can, and then I find a way to like piece it all together with the story.
So you take lots of cards with you, lots of SD cards.
Yes, I do. Yeah, oh my gosh, the day that somebody asks to see my raw pictures will expose me as a terrible photographer, I think. No, I take a lot of pictures. Yeah, I do, and then I know straight away when I've got a good one because I can't stop looking at it, and I get a real buzz. Yeah. And that's the first one I go to then when I get back.
Yeah, that's another strange thing with being a photographer. Yeah. You actually know the good shots.
Yes.
Or you know a good shot and you think, I've got a really good shot, and you look at it and it's just a little bit off.
Yes.
Maybe. And those, although sometimes that's okay, sometimes that's okay. Don't have to be sort of 100% sharp. Because you look at, I was looking not so long ago at Philip Jones Griffiths' work, and surprisingly, lots of them are quite soft,
Yes, really.
Really quite soft.
Yeah.
But it gives it a different dimension sometimes. And I don't think that's a bad thing,
Yeah.
I know we like the ultra sharpness, and maybe you like the ultra sharpness. Yeah. But being soft doesn't worry me sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's something I need to think differently about, because if I see that an image isn't sharp, I almost always just delete it. Right. And then I think afterwards, oh gosh, maybe I shouldn't. Yeah. But like that picture with the camel, I very nearly threw that away.
Right.
Just because I thought, it's not really anything exciting. But yeah.
Good.
On the, have you ever worked with writers specifically?
No, just this once with UNHCR.
And what was that experience like?
It was really good, actually. It took the pressure off me, because one of the things I do struggle with is conducting interviews and getting the shots. Yeah. So that's another thing actually for the photo essay. So you need all of these interviews, and I can see when I'm interviewing these people, they're telling me their story, but those are the expressions that I want, and I don't feel like I can pause and take a picture at the same time.
No, it would be a different kettle of fish anyway.
Yeah.
The pictures would be totally different.
Yes, yeah.
And not as good.
No, I guess. But then I do struggle sometimes because I spend all this time interviewing and engaging and drinking tea and eating food. And then afterwards I leave and I think, oh gosh, I didn't get enough pictures. That happened to me recently. I did a story for Al Jazeera again about Palestinian refugees in Iraq. And they've been there for generations and they're kind of just forgotten about. And it's really difficult because they don't have any legal status. But I just had the most amazing time with this family. Again, they were so warm and welcoming. They insisted that I stay for multiple cups of tea. Then they cooked us dinner. And then I felt like I really had to put pressure on myself to make sure I got the pictures at the end because I could have just left. And it was tough. And then just before I left, I walked around the camp. It was sunset, nice light, perfect time of day. And I got some nice camp shots.
Cool. Yeah. But that point on light, I mean, when you go to these foreign places, the setting, the light, the people, the colours, and the smell, I mean, the atmosphere is intelligent. Have you been tempted to shoot detail-y, arty, more abstract bits as part of your work?
I haven't been, I'm not that good at that, actually. I don't have such a good eye for those kind of details, actually.
Brian Clare's a photojournalist. And,
I know, but there's a lot of creative work in photojournalism. Yeah. I wonder where you get your release with the camera rather than guns, helmets.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tension. Where's the kind of release valve for you with the camera?
I don't suppose there is really. I mean, I just shoot what I need to shoot, but I don't go looking for extra things at the end of the day to shoot, you know. It's more become, especially when I'm in a place like Iraq, it's become just, a day's work more than sort of enjoyment. So then I try to make sure that I will go somewhere, like I was in Alaska last year, just to get back that passion for taking nice pictures. But I don't know, I'm not as driven by that anymore, actually.
There was one of your pictures, I think it was one of these, I forget which one, was it just a kid's toy sitting on a rug?
Oh, yes.
So that simplicity, that's
what you mean. Yeah.
Shots as well, rather than just people and the tension is.
And those
detail bits.
Yeah, and they all contribute to the story, I think, because that was something really weird. That was a field hospital. Right. We were like, that's just a bed, it's not even a bed.
In context with the other pictures, it's quite powerful, isn't it?
Yeah. I didn't think anybody would notice that picture, to be honest. But no, go on.
Yeah, but but you create this whole story, so you have context, so everything sort of dovetails then, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I suppose that's the hard part, actually, is trying to get pictures that are unique and completely different from each other and then finding a way to pull them in to tell the story. But I suppose that's right. I try to find details.
The factory, was it Scarf?
Scarf Factory.
Scarf Factory. For example, going back to Emir's question about that as a... so you've did it as a photo essay, it's up on the site. No one's bought it.
No one's bought it.
No.
I know.
But when do you think when is enough pictures enough to create that as a book, or put those in frames and put them on a wall? Or
I think I have been criticised in the past for having too many pictures. So I think it's not, I don't know what the optimum number is, but I mean, as long as you have up to 10 strong standalone images, I think that's more than enough, really. The format that I do now with Al Jazeera, I have to submit up to 20 images. And that's quite tough sometimes.
Do they mess them around a bit?
No.
They don't mess
them
around?
They don't, no.
Which is really good.
Yeah. They don't. They very rarely alter the captions. They can't change the meaning, but sometimes, if I haven't written something quite the right way. But generally, no, they don't do anything that's really good. Okay. Yeah.
Excellent.
Cool. That's it.